Okay, so True Cities is an exhibition of 4 different cities, 4 different global cities, and it was conceptualized as a kind of slicing across the world, traveling from east to west. So this is Guangzhou, China. In the other room is London. Then on this kind of wall is a book where on the left side are images of Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria. On the right is Dubai. Well, the idea was that firstly we have the kind of 4, we have Europe, Africa, the Middle East and Asia, and then at the same time these are kind of important cities in those continents in terms of kind of global production and the kind of global economy, that actually those cities are extremely connected with each other, and the rest of the world. And so the idea is that all these exhibitions combine, show those connections, that all these images and show those connections visually, show the similarities in aesthetics, the similarities in what's going on. So on the surface, Dubai and Nigeria, Lagos might be worlds away seemingly, but actually there's a million different connections. There's a lot of, things, ways, people who live in, Nigerians in Dubai, Emiratis working in Nigeria. The idea is kind of showing the connectedness of the globe, basically, using these 4 cities. The cities now have so much in common, on an obvious level. You can eat the same food in every single different city in the world, probably. But the thing that is different is a kind of densities, and structure, of course, is a thing that indicates density and indicates population. So, these structures are all about totally narrow, high density housing, high density living conditions in China. So this is kind of a low-cost housing project. But then in the other room is London, which is also a kind of low-cost housing, but completely kind of empty. And if there is anything that is really personal to every city, it's the way that it has density or has emptiness and space. think one of the things that I understood and understand as a European, as a Westerner, is, you know, I have mobility, and by living in China and by going to Dubai and by going to Lagos, you also see how there's so many people without mobility, you know. So we're so used to being able to travel, but there's so many people in so many parts of the world who can't travel, and therefore, you know, as a photographer, you can allow people to travel by taking the world to them, you know, and that's, I guess, the kind of the bigger picture, is that, you know, you have to bring the world. This is an example of bringing the world to one place. It's not really about what I'm saying with the images, even though I made these combinations. So every image was me purposefully putting together images of Dubai and Nigeria. But anyway, as soon as you put places together, they start to communicate, you know, and they start to form their own conversations, and that's what interests me about photography. It's not really about the view or the judgment of the artist or the statements I'm trying to make, but just by, if you put collections together, they form communities and they form dialogues. Yeah.